for the education sector. And the problems of capitation will be a thing of the past. I know you are wondering why sometimes there were a little bit of contradictions about capitation. I want to reaffirm the government position that the policy on free primary and free day secondary has not changed. We continue with the same program, and our children will continue being supported across the country. The other issue you have mentioned here is about, let me mention the issue of teachers. I know this government has been able to employ 76,000 teachers. If you look back at the government of since independence, starting with the government of Jomo, they used to employ 500 teachers per year. You come to the government of Moi, they used to employ 1,000 teachers per year. You come to Kibaki, they used to employ 3,000 teachers per year. You come to Uhuru Kenyatta, they used to employ 5,000 teachers per year. But President William Ruto has decided he will employ within 2 years 76,000 teachers and counting in the next few months. In the next few months, we are at 100,000. This is the government of teachers. There's no other government that has been able to employ that kind of teachers. And I hope teachers are going to be very happy that their welfare is being taken care of by this government. As I wind up, Your Excellency, so that I make it very clear, we have heard you fellow teachers that there is a challenge on promotion. That is a very strong issue, a very emotive issue. And Your Excellency, allow me to announce to this forum that the government has budgeted 1 billion shillings this year for promotion of teachers. So teachers, promotion is coming. It is coming very soon. Well, as to whether the logistics and the preparations and many other things, Teacher Service Commission, as mandated by the Constitution, is going to roll out a program, and I want to believe that teachers from this county will be able to get an opportunity to be promoted to the next level. We are saying we want to give priority to those people who have stagnated for a long time so that they can be able to get promotion to the next level. The other very emotive issue by Will Broder was the issue of medical insurance for teachers. I'm told that teachers are really having many challenges. We are consulting with Teacher Service Commission and the other agencies of government, and we are going to create a comprehensive cover for teachers under the universal health care so that you don't have to be paying twice for services that you are not getting. That is the plan of this government, so that all teachers will be given a special opportunity under a comprehensive cover for medical insurance, and that will be able to solve the problem. I've gone to many places and I've been told, oh, walimu, they're having a problem because the current insurance provider is not giving you the best service as required. As I wind up, allow me also to announce that the government is planning to roll out infrastructure across the country. We have been able to build 23,000 classrooms around the country in the last 2 years. And we are saying in the next 3 months, as we prepare for transition to senior school, the government has put aside money to construct 1,600 laboratories around the country. And we are saying in Malava here, yours will come rightly. We have been able to map the whole country, and your labs are coming within the next 3 months. Walimu muko? Walimu muko? Walimu muko? On this occasion with the PCS, or this forum the PCS has created for us, it has created for us so that we can be able to have a conversation, so that we can be able to talk to each other, so that we can be able to engage to each other. Otherwise, fellow teachers, we have come here to tell you, this is your government. And sometimes, it reminds me, Your Excellency PCS, the words of one of the presidents of the US, who said, sometimes, think about it. Ask not all the time what the government can do for you. Also, ask what you can do for your government. Because this is your government. Fellow teachers, as you tell us, we do for you this one. Also, Rudisha mkono tafadhali. I like the guy here who said that we are I scratch your back, you scratch, and that is why you are here this afternoon. So I do not want to take a lot of time. There are special goodies which the PCS has come with, and because my boss is here, I do not want to read the news. You are not only happy to receive the PCS in a very special way. He has very many goodies for you. So allow me not to say the goodies. The goodies the PCS himself will say, as I will be supporting him as he says the goodies. Otherwise, allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to state clearly that the state of education in Kenya is strong. That if you look at the kind of investment, if you look at the kind of teachers who have employed, if you look at the kind of planning for transition, if you look at the entire sector, the state of education in Kenya is strong. There is no reason to worry. I want to finalize, Your Excellency, by saying one or two more other things. The government also, in the spirit of transparency, has rolled out a system called EGP, Electronic Procurement System, that is going to help us improve transparencies in all our 45,000 schools. We are saying we no longer want anything being bought in school to be done in secrecy. We want it to be as open, as consultative as possible for everybody. So we are rolling out from this quarter what we call Electronic Government Procurement System, EGP, so that all our schools, so that all our institutions around the country, you can know what is being bought in what school, at what cost, for what, is it needed or is it not needed, and parents and teachers can be able to check and cross-check to know why things are being bought in our respective institutions. Last but not least, fellow teachers, there's a new trend now that is emerging on teacher-student relationship. Allow me to use this forum, Your Excellency, to say that the government policy on teacher-student relationship is that the government has zero tolerance to any misbehaviors by any stakeholder within the school. We must respect our learners. Parents, teachers, we are parents. We cannot allow anybody to take advantage of our children while they are in school. We have sent them to school and we want them to be protected, to be given security, to be respected. We are not going to condone any sexual relationships between teachers and students in our educational institutions. So take notice, as Malava, as a country, that the government is not going to entertain anybody. Anybody suspected will be prosecuted, and the right thing must be done so that all our learners are protected in our schools. Allow me now at this point, ladies and fellow teachers, to stop there, because this meeting was not my meeting. It was the meeting of His Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary. And here with me is my colleague, Daktari, a very special friend, whom we have worked very closely in Ministry of Interior. He has come so that he can be able to also pronounce himself on issues that are going to affect our teachers, affect our security, affect our country. Allow me to request us to put our hands together so that in a very special way we welcome Daktari Raymond Omolo, PS Internal Security, to be able to address you. Karibu sana. Aye, that makofi is not enough. What is the problem?
All right. Thank you, PS Ambassador Julius Bitok. Your Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, the Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, my PS colleague, Professor Bitok, Mheshimiwa Vihiga Women Rep, Mheshimiwa Ikana, the MP for Shinyalu, the Member of County Assembly who is hosting us together with your colleagues, the county commissioner and the entire county, sub-county, and Ngao fraternity, the teachers of Malava constituency, and all the students and the people of Kakamega. Good afternoon. Good afternoon once again. So before I make a few remarks and subsequently invite our chief guest, who is the Prime Cabinet Secretary, allow me to invite the MP for Shinyalu to come and speak to the teachers of this great sub-county and constituency. After he speaks, then Mheshimiwa Beatrice will come on stage.
Asante, asante. Bekti bi Malava mirembe. Mirembe handi. Munu buyanzi. Kholla bacheni bero. PCS. Nende bosi bako chendi nabo. Asante. Basi mimi kwa majina naitwa Freddy Kana, nikiwa mbunge wa Shinyalu. Niko hapa siku ya leo kwa heshima, unyenyekevu na staha kuja kushiriki nanyi kwa sababu ninawaenzi. Mimi nafahamu fika ya kwamba kama azingelikuwa jitihada zenu kama walimu, sisi ambao tumekaa hapa na tumekaa mbele yenu hatungekuwa hapa. Kama haingelikuwa zile jitihada za walimu wa kutoka hapa Malava ambao walinifunza pale Msingu mpaka nikafikia upeo uongozini katika eneo bunge, singekuwa nimefikia hapo. Nakumbuka mwalimu wangu wa Kiswahili, Mwalimu Shisanya, ambaye alikuwa anatoka hapa. Ndio maana naweza zungumza Kiswahili sanifu. Namkumbuka Mwalimu Matiho, Mwalimu Nakwekwe, Mwalimu Sumbatiti. Kama wangenifunza kemia, mimi singekuwa nafahamu masuala ya kisayansi. Jameni, nyenye walimu ni watu speciali. Jameni, ninawapenda. Na pia vile vile niseme, jinsi mnavyojua, kando na hapa Malava na Lugari, lile eneo bunge ambalo liko na watu wa jamii ya Wakabras wengi sana ni hapa Shinyalu, ambapo wamenipatia nafasi ya kuwaongoza. Pale Kambiri, pale Bulovi, pale Magale, pale Ngolomosio ni watu wa jamii ya Wakabras. Jameni, nyinyi ni watu wazuri. Mimi kando na kusema asanteni kwa walimu, pia nimekuja kushiriki jambo na wazo ambalo linatuhusu sisi wote, kwa sababu tumefika wakati adimu ambao lazima tuende mbele tukijua ni safari ama ni njia gani ambayo tunafaa kuitembea kuhakikisha watu wa Malava wanapata kiongozi ambaye ako na tajriba, kiongozi ambaye ako na uwezo wa kuendeleza mipango ya maendeleo na serikalini kama jinsi mwenda zake rafiki yangu Mheshimiwa Malulu Injendi alivyokuwa akifanya. Jameni, watu wa jamii ya Wakabras, mnajua wakati wa uchaguzi mwaka wa 2022, mimi na mbunge wenu mwenda zake Mheshimiwa Malulu tulisimama kidete na tukasema tutaiunga serikali ya Mheshimiwa Rais William Ruto, ambayo pia Mheshimiwa PCS Musalia Mudavadi yako ndani, na tukasema sisi tunaunga serikali mkono kwa sababu ya maendeleo. Na nyinyi mkatusikiza, mkamchagua Mheshimiwa Malulu Injendi kwa chama cha ANC. Nami pale Shinyalu nikachaguliwa pia kwa chama cha ANC ambacho kilikuwa kinaongozwa na Mheshimiwa Musalia Mudavadi, ambaye wakaja wakaungana pamoja na Mheshimiwa Rais William Ruto kwa ajili ya kumaliza siasa za ukabila na migawanyo hapa nchini. Sasa chama chetu cha ANC na UDA tuko pamoja, tuko chama moja, sera yetu ni moja, barabara yetu ni moja, na hiyo barabara ni maendeleo kwa wananchi wa Kenya. Watu wangu wa Malava, baada ya mwenda zake Malulu Injendi kuondoka, mimi nikabaki peke yangu kama mbunge wa UDA kutoka hapa Kakamega. Jamani, nimekuja kumuomba kama mwana wenu, mniunge mkono ule wakati utakapofika. Jamani, msiniache mbemoterwa, muhonye nyole washianje khorola Malavano wako chenda na yemu serikali khumulerere bindu, khumulerere maendeleo, khukhonyesha Malava shikhole shiri shizikhomberi. Mulakhonya murio mona bandu banje. Nikimaliza tu nihitimishe nikiwakumbusha, kwa sababu najua nyinyi walimu ni weledi na wastadi wa lugha ya Kiswahili. Kuna msemo ambao unasema ukipanda pantosha utavuna nini? Basi watu wa Malava muwe werevu. Mimi nawaomba ile mbegu ambayo mtaipanda pale mbele iwe mbegu ambayo itatupatia kiongozi ambaye atashirikiana na sisi wote na PCS na hao ma-PS ambao wako hapa kuhakikisha masuala ya walimu yanatetewa vikamilifu pale bungeni, na pia kwa mkongamano nyingine yoyote ambayo masuala ya walimu yanajadiliwa. Awe kiongozi ambaye atatusaidia tusukume hii serikali yetu ambayo tunaipenda kuhakikisha hata mishahara ya walimu inaendelea kuongozwa. Awe kiongozi ambaye atahakikisha ile mipango ya ile barabara ya kutoka hapa Malava Samiti mpaka kule na Bakholo inakamilika. Hiyo ndio mipango tuko nayo, na mimi wacha nisiwachoshe kwa mambo mengi, kwa sababu kiongozi wetu yuko hapa. Mwana weru, mwana wa Ana, PCS, mulina wa Rais William Ruto alihano. Nukhutsu kuipanga inyuma kala khola mwaka kwa 27 khande mukhokhonye watasera khuinzelende mwami William Ruto ikasi ili mbere wakhutitsanga nukhutoka 32 khobe ni singulu, khobe nende buluyali, khobe nende miendo misikolo, nukhutse khukwane mbere ya khole khorena khukure khola la bandu banje khwako matititi bolanganya sa khola rina na sa khola rina. Asanteni.
Mheshimiwa Dagala.
Abarasi mlembe. Walimu habari zenu. Bwana Yesu na asifiwe. Bwana Yesu na asifiwe. Muli balamu? Muli moyo? Musangalile? Asanteni sana. Kwa wale ambao mnijui, naitwa Dagala, mbunge wa county Vihiga Mama. Na nimekuja hapa na viongozi wenzangu tukiongozwa na Prime Cabinet Secretary, PSS wetu, Dr. Amolo and Ambassador Bitok and all other leaders including national and county government officials. Tumekuja kukaa na walimu. Walimu ndio wale walezi. Walimu wanatoa ujinga kwa vichwa zetu. Mimi nikiwa hapa nimesimama kama msichana wa mwalimu. Na huyo mwalimu alifunza miaka zilizopita hapa Kabarasi. Na akaenda karudi kule Hamisi. He's a retired teacher and he's not tired. Pia mi wacha niringe vile mwalimu Mheshimiwa Ikana ameringa hapa, alifunzwa na walimu wa Kabarasi. Hata mimi nilifunzwa na Kabarasi. Nakumbuka mmoja, ni miaka mingi iliyopita, lakini nakumbuka mmoja alikuwa anaitwa Milikao. Alikuwa anatoka sehemu hii. Si pia mimi nimefunzwa na Wakabarasi? Najivunia kuwa Mkabarasi pia. So we have just come. Mimi sina mambo mengi kama mama huwa anaongea tu mambo ya maendeleo. Na sisi tunaendelea tu kusema maendeleo iendelee kukuja PSO Molo uko hapa. Wakina mama wanataka wafanye biashara, wapate empowerment, wafanye biashara. Hawa walimu pia wasaidiwe wafanye biashara na kusomesha watoto wetu. Biashara mingi na kusomesha watoto. Na wakiwa na security, all will be well. They'll be able to teach and they'll be able to move everywhere in a safe sub-county. That is Western region, if I may say. Nikikuja kwa jambo lingine, walimu hawa ndio wale watu wanaendeza nchi. Hawa ndio wanatufunzia watoto, wanatufanyia kila kitu. PS ambassador uko hapa. Nimesikia wamelia hapa. Mama representative wao ameongea hapa. Yeye ni hatari. Nimemuona nikaona ni hatari. Amelia sana. Ni mwenzangu, unaona? Ako tu kama mimi. Sina maana hivyo. Nani kama mama? Amelia sana ambassador. Yes, tunasema kidogo kidogo jaza kibaba. Na lakini vile walimu wanalia. Mimi kama msichana ya mwalimu na babangu alikuwa tu P4 na tulikuwa high school watu 4 atego. I don't know even how he managed. Hawa walimu na PCS mkienda tu mnongonezee tu rais pole pole ataongeza hawa walimu pesa. Ama aje walimu sisi taongezwa. Ruto oye. Mama mwingine amesema hapa. Tena ameumbwa akaumbika kama mimi. Amesema yeye ni KBB, walimu wa Malava. Nyinyi ni KBB? Walimu wa Malava. Mnataka muendelee kukaa kwa serikali ama mnataka mchague mtu mwenye atawapeleka huko kwa kibanda, analilia huko na maendeleo ikiendelea? Mnataka maendeleo? Mna promise mtatupatia kiongozi wa serikali? Malulo alikuwa rafiki yangu, sisi tulikuwa tunatembea na yeye, tunaenda State House, sisi hatufungiwi mlango kama last time tulikuwa tunafungiwa. Siku hizi sisi tunaingia State House na tunaomba maendeleo. Mnataka Western maendeleo ama mnataka siasa ya kurudi nyuma? Mnataka maendeleo? Malava mnasema forward ever, backward never. Mtasupport PCS? Mtatupatia kiongozi wa Kenya kwanza wakati inatangazwa? Malava oye. Ruto KBB.
Haya, hebu tusalimiane kwa hewa hivi. Walimu oye. Walimu oye. So first of all, Your Excellency, let me also take this opportunity to acknowledge the senior government officials that have accompanied you to this important forum. And may I just ask that you be upstanding. I can see my friend Mwalimu Indimuli. Chief, can we just wave to the teachers? Walimu, let's wave back to these senior government officials. Asanteni sana, you may take your seats. Your Excellency, today I'm a very proud individual that in a long time we get an opportunity to have an engagement and conversation with the teachers of this great nation. And just like everybody has said, the teachers do a lot of hard work. They do a good job, because without the teachers, we probably would not have the country in the way it is. And each of us has passed through the hands of the teachers that I see here, and many other teachers across the country. And for that, I must commend you for the wisdom and the decision that you took to come and engage the teachers. And also the courtesy you extended to me to accompany you to have a conversation with these teachers. So first of all, allow me to speak to matters that are related to the issues under my docket, which is internal security and national administration. Some of the speakers here spoke to a number of issues. One of them is a challenge of insecurity, not just in Malava, but in the broader county of Kakamega, and by extension, I would say Western region. If you may remember, is that since President Ruto came into office, as a country, we have fairly had a very secure nation. And this is largely courtesy of his initiatives to try and address the gap that was there in the security sector. And we continue to institute and undertake a number of security reforms. There's a challenge within the police service in terms of movement and mobility. I know even in this particular sub-county, we only have one vehicle that is being shared across by our officers. I just want to give the commitment that in the next 2 weeks, we will get an extra vehicle as we work on the broader leasing program for the vehicles that is supposed to support our police officers and other government officers. Number two, I was looking at what is captured in the report by the sub-county or the county director of education, is that in the education sector, there is only one case that has been reported as a sexual offense case. And the PS Bitok has spoken about the policy within the Ministry of Education. I'm looking forward to a day when we do not have any such cases. And even where there are cases, I would want to encourage and challenge the teachers to work closely with government officers as well as parents so that classroom or the school environment becomes an environment that is meant to nurture the next generation of citizens who are responsible, who have been given the best, so that our schools do not become a breeding ground for bringing up criminals or for exposing our children to acts that would endanger their progress. Number three, again, looking at that report, and it speaks to the gap that exists in the student-teacher ratio. At the primary level, it's 1 to 34. At the JSS level, it is 1 to, I think, around 40. And then at the secondary level, it's 1 to 32. But universally, acceptable ratio should be 1 to 25. And when you think about it, that we are yet to achieve that universal ratio, despite the massive investment that President Ruto has put in place, it speaks to a big gap that has existed progressively over many years. 76,000 teachers hired in a record 2 years, another 20,000 by the end of this year, will help us bridge the gap and move towards achieving that universal coverage and access for our students. Because our education must be accessible, it must be affordable, and it also has to be quality education. We are addressing issues on quality, we are addressing issues on access, the same way we are also addressing issues on affordability. And the Ministry of Education, I was talking to the PS, has even heeded to that demand to make education affordable by reviewing the school fees going forward. And it's important that we applaud and appreciate the government for those measures. Now, I want to speak to you as a fellow professional. And I've listened to a lot of the issues that you have raised. And with your indulgence, Your Excellency, these are people who have gone to school. These are graduates. These are people who are meant to make a difference in this country. And at times, it's important that we take time to take stock of where we were as a country, where we are today, and where we are going tomorrow. I know there are concerns around the pay for the teachers. There are concerns about infrastructure for our learning institutions. And there are concerns even on issues to do with healthcare. Now, what have we done to address some of these concerns? In terms of access, we have hired more teachers and we continue to hire more teachers so that our learners can have the best experience. On infrastructure, the PSB talk has talked of the number of classrooms that have been built, 23,000 in the last 2 years. In this sub-county alone, in the last financial year, there was 87.5 million that the government released towards the development and improvement of some of this infrastructure. And we are not stopping there. And if you look at the budget for this financial year, the biggest allocation has been put to the education sector. And what does that tell you? That for the first time in the history of this country, you have a president, you have a government, you have an administration that takes matters education seriously. And these are not just stories. These are things that if you look around, you can be able to see. They are demonstrable progress. And that is why when we are in a forum like this, it's an opportunity for us to speak to you and tell you what the government is doing on matters education. So that when you go back to the villages, when you go back to the homes, when you go back to the schools, you can be able to speak about what this administration is doing. So that when people say that there is nothing that has happened in this country, specifically on matters education, you have something to say about it. There are concerns about health, and for sure, we need to address the pain that the teachers are going through in terms of access to healthcare. I know there is an ongoing conversation with the Teacher Service Commission, just like we are having a conversation with the National Police Service, as well as the public service, so that we have a comprehensive healthcare that allows those who work on behalf of the government, whether as teachers or as police officers or as chiefs and assistant chiefs, that we give these officers the best healthcare. But as we do that, we cannot leave the rest of the country. And that is why we are implementing the universal health care. And today, over 25 million Kenyans are enrolled on the Social Health Authority platform for access to universal health care. And it appears painful, particularly for those who have pay slips, like you and myself. But let's look at the bigger picture. Before, only 5 million Kenyans were accessing healthcare through NHIF platform. And what it meant is that in each and every WhatsApp forum that you're invited to, you are being asked to contribute money to pay medical bills. Tuko na mtu wetu amekwama kwa hospitali, ama tuko na mgonjwa hatuwezi kumpeleka kwa hospitali kwa sababu hatuna pesa. What this administration is doing is to address that gap. And 10 months down the line from the point we started the rollout of universal healthcare, and if we are being very honest to each other, you will agree that if there is any WhatsApp group that you've been added to contribute, more often than not, it will be about someone who has died who needs to be buried. We are having less and less of cases of being asked to contribute 5,000, to contribute 10,000. And we must look ourselves not in isolation. We have the advantage that we have at least a job, each of us. There are many Kenyans who don't have a job, and we must carry them along. Now, what is the government also doing to address the gap of those who don't have jobs? For the first time, this administration has a very deliberate program on job creation. There's a conversation about the housing levy, which is meant to help us build affordable and social houses. And I would want you to look at this not just as houses for people to live in. And for someone who probably is teaching or is living in Kabras, you may not have the challenge of housing. But you have 6 to 7 million Kenyans who live in informal settlements, who don't have a toilet, who don't have water, who don't have electricity. And the number is growing. So, just give me a minute to explain myself. What this is going to do is that it is not just going to give dignity to those who need decent housing, but we are also going to create jobs with this program. How are we creating jobs? Today, as a teacher in Malava, uko na kijana anafanya engineering kwa university. Uko na kijana who is an architect. Uko na kijana ama msichana who is an interior designer. And for every one house that we build, we are creating 3 to 5 jobs. We'll get opportunity for those who are plumbers, for electricians, for masons, for interior designers, even for accountants. In that entire ecosystem, there are doors to be made, there are windows to be made. Those become completely new ecosystem for creating more jobs. And what do we achieve with this? We will increase the number of those who are payslip carriers, initially from 3 million to 6 million, so that the pressure on a few people, a few of us in this tent, carrying the load of so many people will go down. As it is today, 3 to 4 million Kenyans are carrying the weight of over 55 million Kenyans. President Ruto is opening up the country and creating an opportunity for many more people to have an opportunity to have earnings so that we share in the load of building this country. Number 4. Just carry along with me as a professional, because now we are talking as professionals. Is that as we expand the space for education, as we look out for the welfare of the teachers, I know there is a CBA that has been signed, which is contentious, and you are raising very valid concerns, and we have the commitment from the Ministry of Education to look and relook at that CBA, so that the increments that you are focusing on, we can be able to see how do we get extra allocation to be able to have teachers earn decent pay. Because everyone deserves equal earning for equal work that is done. Lastly, as I finish, is that there are 3 divisions that we have given the regional commissioner the authority to operationalize this week in this sub-county. Then there are 3 locations that we have also given the authority and approval for them to be operationalized so that we can open them up for the people of this place to be hired either as chiefs or sub-chiefs. And we also have 4 sub-locations. Just for record purposes, there is Shivanga, there is Chesero, and Shilugu divisions. And then there is Nguvali, Cheroso, Shikutse locations. And then there is Bukakunga, Indukusia, Induhusia, Mukuyu, and Shivahale sub-locations. And this is part of our efforts to try and bring services closer to the people of Malava constituency and the sub-county. And we are not just doing it here alone. We are doing it across the country. Because when we came in, there was a backlog of administrative units that had been gazetted but not operationalized. Our target is that by the end of this year, we would have operationalized all these administrative units, and then we make a consideration for deserving cases. Like in this particular constituency, I know there is need for us to create additional sub-county, just like in the entire region, for better representation and access to services by the people who work in government. As I take back my seat and welcome His Excellency to come and address us, I would want to request with all humility that we be upstanding so that His Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, can come and speak to us.
Yes! 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 Check it! Watu wa Malava mapenda nini? Ruto tano tena. Watu wa Malava mataka nani? Ruto tano tena. Watu wa Malava masema nini? Ruto tano tena. Musalia Mudavadi wasema nini? Ruto tano tena. Musalia Mudavadi wasema nini? Ruto tano tena. Musalia Mudavadi wasema nini? Kila mtu afanye hivi. Ruto tano tena. Musalia Mudavadi ne hako ndani. Ruto tano tena. Ewe Ruto tano tena. Ruto tano tena. Sisi tumekubali. Kakamega tumekubali. Hata Vihiga tumekubali. Wewe Ruto tano tena. 10 bila buraki wewe Ruto. 10 bila buraki wewe Ruto. Sawa hiyo wimbo.
Thanks, well done. I'll come and check.
Okay.
Malava hoye! Malava hoye! Muri baramu! Muri mwoyo! Wina fire! Nufire ginga mkono iguru. Haya. Asante sana. Leo ni siku kubwa. It is a big day. A big day. And because of that, let me put my hat down. So, what have we come to do in Malava? You want me to tell you? Yes. All right. Maybe before I speak, I don't know whether I can manage. Can I beam something on this screen? Am I capable of beaming something, Joshua? Can I? Who is doing that beaming? There is a quotation by Albert Einstein. Can you put it here? Albert Einstein. Can you beam it? I will do this today. I have 2 people or 3 as they prepare. I just want 3 people to come here for 1 minute each and stand next to me. I'm the timekeeper. I want Mr. Lunani, come here. as we wait for the beaming, I want Mr. Dan Amayo, come here. I want Mr. Nick Biketi, come here. I want Mr. Simon Indimuli, come here. I want Madam Shamala, come here. Albert Einstein, note this. Enlarge it. Okay. As I talk, I want you to continuously read that. Isn't it? Read it and internalize it. I hope it's being beamed there also. Okay, it's a very short quotation by Albert Einstein, one of the best brains in the world. Just read it and internalize it while you listen. Mr. Simon Indimuli is a son of Malava. Mr. Simon Indimuli is in the executive office of the president. And Mr. Simon Indimuli is the secretary of SCAC, which means he's the chief executive that oversees all the parastatals and state corporations in the entire Republic of Kenya. Oyonde. Eh? Mumburi. I don't want him to speak, but you have seen him. Isn't it? And I've said he is in the executive office of who? He works with Felix Koske and the president. All right? Eh? You want his number? He is here. If he has been hiding, he'll tell me why he has been hiding. All right? And I want to ask, which president am I talking about? I didn't hear. Which president am I talking about? Aye. Thank you, Simon. This good lady, she's called Hanifu Immaculate Shamal. She's born and bred in Kabaras. You want her to tell you? Yes. She'll stand here, she'll explain. But why am I bringing her here? Because she is on the board of the Insurance Regulatory Authority. So, the people who will regulate these entities that Madam Wibroda was talking about, she sits on the board that regulates whether they are doing the right job or not doing the right job. Sema Kiluya.
Thank you, sir. Muriena Vosi. Esievari Hanifu Shama Lomkabara Siomulu Omwiwa Mtali Yingoni na Makara.
Haya. Okay. I'm happy that we are okay. Now, I want to bring another man here. Busiaga, come here. Now, Joe Busiaga is from here. Has he also been hiding? Yes. All right. Let me explain. In the executive order signed by President William Ruto, Executive Order on the Organization and Structure of Government. Yeah? There are 3 offices called Chief of Staff, all in the Executive Office of the President. The first one, who is Chief of Staff at the top, is Felix Koskei. The second one, who is Chief of Staff, is Madam Wakogi, Chief of Staff in the Office of the Deputy President. The third one, who is Chief of Staff, is Joe Busiaga from Malava in the office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary. Murire. Simaroma numbasu nugubara. Aye. Thank you. I will not ask him to speak. All right. Aye. Now, this Mzee, an elder, he's called Dan Ameo. Dan Ameo was also taught by people here, but he's born in Mumias, and he's a senior state counsel, and he's a legal advisor in my office. He'll not speak, I just want that. And I'll tell you why I'm bringing this on the table. Yeah? Then, this gentleman here, Kelvin Lunani, is from Busia, Hapa. Busia, and he is the national vice chairperson of the UDA party. Wamuranganga Kelvin Lunani, Aturanga Ibutullah. And prior to that, he was chairman of ANC. So when we merged, he is the national vice chairman of UDA party. Thank you. Haya. There's a young man, and deliberately I will not allow these ones to speak today, but I will allow this young man for a good reason. Nick Biketi is the Secretary Parliamentary Affairs in the State Department of Parliamentary Affairs in the office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary. He worked very closely with Malulu Injendi, and he works very closely with many parliamentarians. I want to give him exactly 1 minute or 2, just to give the job description of a modern, dynamic, robust, effective member of parliament. What are the qualities?
Thank you, Excellency. Sir, the Prime Cabinet Secretary. The PS is present. PS Daktari Ambassador Bitok. PS Daktari Raymond. The members of Parliament. The members of Ngao. Members of the County Assembly. Distinguished teachers, custodians of morality, the guides of the consciousness and aspirations of the community of Malava. Mulembe, Mulembe lundi, Mulembe te, Mulembe swa. Today, as the Prime Cabinet Secretary has said, I am Secretary Legislative and Parliamentary Affairs of the first in the Republic of Kenya. Because this state department was founded by His Excellency the President, and the intention was to ensure that we bridge the gap between the executive and Parliament. You are learned people, teachers. And when I say a name, I want you to respond and say teacher, okay? Abraham Lincoln, Willis Monroe, Mahatma Gandhi, Mwalimu Julius Nyerere, Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, Malulu Injendi. So I'm talking to very important people. Article 1 of the Constitution of Kenya. Kindly, I want to plead my case before the teachers as a lawyer, and I'm asking for the silence of the court, please. Article 1 of the Constitution of Kenya says that sovereignty of the Republic belongs to the people. Is that okay? Is that correct? And it says that that sovereignty shall only be exercised in accordance to the same Constitution. Is that true? It goes down under Article 1.3 and says that that sovereignty, that power, is delegated to 3 authorities. And Will Brother, you said you've read this Constitution and you know it. The Constitution says that power shall be delegated to 3 authorities. Number 1 is the presidency. Number 2 is the judiciary. And number 3, and most important, why we are here, is Parliament. Distinguished teachers, since the time of multi-party in Western Kenya, we fought hard until the time of the demise of Masinde Muliro, 202 is it? Then you came to Michael Wamalwa. Then in 2016, you lost Shitanda. What I'm trying to say, can we get over the hangover of the opposition? In the 2010 jurisdiction, in the 2010 constitutional democracy, you had the PSA that education has the biggest budget of 702 billion. Where was it done? In Parliament. Is that not so? I am pleading with the people of Malava that the times we are in, it's important. And let us not continue with this whole thing of thinking siasa ni kama game ya Arsenal na Man U. Politics, like my sister Lucy said, is about your education. Politics is about shaping the future of our children. Politics is about and will decide what kind of livelihood and the dignity we have as a people from Western Kenya. I plead with you today that it is time we take the question of politics more seriously than we've ever done before. As you elect your member of parliament, please consider the following: that he is going to be responsible to move motions like Malulu Injendi did when he talked about the education policy as the vice chair of the education committee. Please remember, Malulu Injendi was among the forefronters on the sugar bill. You are the biggest farmers of sugar, isn't it? I'm praying that all of you, when the time comes, especially as the young people, I'm asking, let us define our future ourselves. Bana befwe no msima no lino mwana balosi nababonano bamayi muliano bamama hai no li mu kliniki nekhakhana kho mwatungile lulaini eyo khakho khali malnourished namwe khangao owasio mutajiri khakhinia wewe osuna wakhinia wewe wa jirani so esiwe kase nende khakho wasokhinia khakho emboko ino esenandika a coalition agreement. I was with Professor Kindiki, I was with CS Murkomen and Dana Meo when we drafted the coalition agreement. We are asking this time, let us be clever like you've come many of you. PS amesema checks zinatoka, si ndio? Kwa sababu mmekuja si mmekuja wengi? Siasa pia ni hivyo. Wacha tutoke wengi ili kazi ya Musalia Mudavadi kwenda mbele. Huhuenjera si konosiefwe si chene si suru ababali ya muatile nyuma ita wela basi imeko.
All right. Thank you very much. I can now excuse them. I thought it was important. Let me come back to this. Can you read it from where you are? I refuse to engage in an intellectual battle with an unarmed man. That gentleman is talking about refusing to engage in an intellectual battle with an unarmed man. Albert Einstein, I am here because you are teachers. I am here because you shape opinion. I am here because you are armed with knowledge. So I am talking to people who are intellectually armed. Moromako bandu bageri. Abandu bachesi. Abandu bakusoma. Abandu bigiza abana betu. So, and I have said I have refused to engage those who I have come to engage you, isn't it? Why have I come to engage you? I have come to engage you because it is a moment of critical importance to the people of Malava, to the people of Kakamega, to the people of Western Province, and to the people of Kenya. Because what you do here has an impact on the whole nation. It does not end in Malava. It has an impact here and beyond. So when your teachers came to see me, the leadership of the teachers, we had a conversation. And they said, we are not alone There are others behind us. And we want you to also to have an opportunity to talk to the ones who are not in this room, in my office. When I came in at Tande, I saw the Liverpool motto. We shall never walk. So the teacher leaders here told me they will not walk alone. I should come and engage with you. So I am here. Prior to that, I engaged your other leaders. I engaged your chairman of all our clans in Malava, about 100 of them. Very senior, dignified men and women, elders of society, of varied professions. We had an engagement. I engaged with the MCAs elected and nominated to have a conversation on Malava. I went further and had a conversation with the administrators from every sublocation to the top on issues Malava. I also had an opportunity to have a conversation with a cross-section of your leaders, including Saidi here and others who came to Nairobi. I saw Tubei and Sikoria. They are all here. They are here. And I was consistent about one thing, that the leadership of Malava must come from the people of Malava themselves. So I deliberately refused. And I told them, I have not requested you to come because I want to impose a leader on you. I have also come here to tell the 3,000 plus teachers, I have not come here to impose a leader on you. So if you are waiting for me to pronounce the name of a candidate, you will wait for a very long time. But I came here so that we can have a conversation. That word there. Because you are armed people. I came here so that we can have a conversation. What leadership does Malava deserve? If you took a pen and pencil or pencil and paper today, the 4,000 of you, what would be the qualities you would be looking for as your next member of parliament? You are opinion shapers. You cannot be bystanders. You cannot hide behind clans. Even me, I come from a clan. This is not the time to evaluate leadership on the basis of a clan, on the prism of a clan. Wache hiyo mchezo. If you know somebody has got to manage CDF and your CDF has not been as active because we lost our member of parliament, my good friend, brother, Malulu Injendi, you will need somebody, once they are in office, people who will be honest and work with integrity to make sure that the CDF of Malava is activated quickly and for the right purpose. Mundu nawe yenubu sandu kumakono. Mwamanya busandu. Nuko wara irite mwa. Busandu butigarako. Nugumira digadasi rimanya dihanda kubidete. Munyinde mwamanya mbandu basingi banu mwamanya babe nubusandu. Mwabamanya. Mbeha. Mwabamanya. Mwamanya bajanja. Mwamanya babei. Why do you want us to make that decision for you? It is you to make the decision because you know these characters. Bugura kishijungiru bwana. Ta sesa nura saiguru mukoro. You have to take responsibility as leaders, as teachers. You have to take responsibility. Because when you do not take your responsibility seriously and you do not move, you delay the progress of your community. You delay the progress of your nation. You delay the progress of millions of people because you refused to take your responsibility seriously. Will Broder has asked Shitanda very fundamental questions. Very fundamental. Valid ones, which we must address. But let us ask one question or two and I don't want your immediate answer. They are called rhetorical questions. It's for you to reflect. Because I'm talking to the people that people who are what? So, let me ask you. Did we pass the Constitution of 2010? All of us, as Kenyans. We passed it with a 70% majority in Kenya. In that Constitution, because I want to speak to this, operational details, the mistakes, the difficulties aside, but I just want to speak to the principles laid out in the Constitution. Article 43, the one that deals with housing as an example. We passed it in the Constitution, and that Constitution said that Parliament shall then legislate to create a fund to actualize this program. Parliament shall then legislate to actualize this. Now, when we passed the Constitution in 2010, the Parliament that was there did not actualize that provision of the Constitution. Uhuru Kenyatta came. During that period, that Parliament did not actualize that provision. It is this Parliament that has actualized the provision. So, the decision was delayed during the Kibaki session. It was then delayed during the Uhuru. But because it's a constitutional requirement, this time there is that. So, a stitch in time saves 9. So when we delay to make decisions, and more so when they are constitutional requirements, they will still catch up with us somewhere along the road. That is one message that we need to appreciate. We have talked of SHA. In the same constitution, operational challenges aside, the efficiencies that have got to be instituted aside. But the reality is it is within the constitution that you must provide universal health care. And again, the law said Parliament shall then legislate to give effect to these provisions of the constitution. The Kibaki Parliament time delayed. Uhuru Parliament delayed. The burden has fallen on this Parliament. Because, again, people were passing the buck. I'm talking to armed people. Yani, nuwe nikindu, basically, instead of making a decision, usugumira undi. You don't want to make a decision, usugumira undi, passing the buck. Yani, inze mangana madinyo aga gaburi kuko, gatagom makono gange dawe, deka mbiri gazimu makono go undi mundu. That is basically passing the buck because you do not want to take responsibility. So, we had a debt. We have a public debt, a huge public debt. When I was talking politics, I was telling people from 2015, because I have the benefit of having been a minister for finance for this country. And I know what it means to deal with debt at that scale. And I kept on reminding Kenyans that there is a dangerous appetite that we are seeing in the way people are borrowing. No action was taken. Systematically, the debt has been growing bigger. It is now time for Ruto's government to address what people were passing as a buck. These are the painful realities that we have to face. But coming back to Malava, Malulu Njendi was the vice chair of the Education Committee, a very powerful committee of Parliament. Right now, 702 billion Kenya shillings have been allocated to education, which is 25% of the entire government budget. 25% of the entire government budget as allocated, as assigned by Parliament, has been dedicated to education. That is the global best standard, to set aside 25%. But why we are here and why you are speaking to Bitok is because we don't want just now to hear the figure. We want to see efficient utilization of those resources. And that is why we are here. Resources in education, resources in agriculture, resources in health, resources in infrastructure. We want to see efficient utilization of public resources. Issues of promotion. There must be a proper methodology, something that you can justify. We want that implemented quickly between the Ministry of Education, Teacher Service Commission, so that teachers can benefit rightfully with their promotion. We want them to earn proper salaries. We want them because they are beacons in their community. Everybody knows when teachers have earned, the economy in a constituency turns around. Kweli ama uongo? The economy turns around. So we need to make sure that the disbursement of public resources are also in a timely fashion and targeted to meet the people. I was talking to some university students, and at this point, let me also give the apology of Beatrice Nyangala, because she was handling something related to higher education. So with the president, so she could not come, they had to deal with that. But she's one of you also. Now, when we talk of moving forward and bringing the issues that I'm talking to you on the table, making reference to Malulu Injendi, talking about the ratio of 25%, calling about efficient use of resources. I want to bring this message home because sometimes people think that we don't appreciate. So these university students that I was talking to, they came to my office, student leaders. And our population in the University of Nairobi and others, they've grown. I think Nairobi University now, those who are doing undergraduate are about 53,000. Young men and women. Some of them are your children. You know them. But listening to these young people, they said, Mr. Prime Cabinet Secretary, do you know we don't even get a decent meal in a day? And they are supposed to be learning. Yani, kari shipire honi uzashe nyine shemaganda. Mwamanya shipira honi? Mwamanya shipira honi? Shipira honi uzashe nyine shemakanda. Sibanyara kunyora dabe. In a day. I was touched. And I've already started engaging, and we are talking to Ministry of Education and whatever. We say, when we allocate the resources to the students, surely we can categorize how much goes for tuition, and we add a portion which will go to give them at least one meal a day. If you think these things don't touch us, let me for the first time tell you, they touch us. When we don't see medicine in a hospital, it touches us. When we see somebody stealing public money, it touches us. And we have to address them. And that is why Wilboroda is right. So we are going to be addressing these issues so that teachers get their rightful share. Just like other Kenyans deserve their rightful share. So I have come to you as good people of Malava, with all humility, to tell you, please don't hide behind your clan to determine the leadership of Malava. Soita Shitanda came from a very small home of the Kabaras. But he gave good leadership. I told the elders the same. I told the administration the same. And I'm now telling you teachers the same. Please, please, let us rise above our heritage on this one. Let us look for quality leadership so that Malava can grow. I'm the patron of the Vihiga or Maragoli Cultural Society. I'm the patron. I'm a custodian of tradition. And I have a clan behind me. But I never put the clan ahead of me. Out of the people you saw here, speaking to you, standing here, which one of them is a Maragoli? The ones who stood here. Even the one in my office, Chief of Staff, is he a Maragoli? Sasa, wale watu wanapenda kusema ati Musalia Mudavadi na Varogori, washindwe. Because we look beyond that. We integrate, we work with different people. These lies have been told for too long by people who want to be petty and divide us. So I'm here to speak to you as one of your own. And I speak with a lot of passion for the people of Malava, because whenever I step out to seek votes, there is nobody who gives me votes like people of Malava. They have the gold medal when it comes to that. Surely, we are not going to drop that gold medal in the next few months when you are going to make a decision as to who is going to be the leader of Malava. I came to you. Thank God Malava listened. Thank God Shinyalu listened. But when I came to other people and I told them, I have seen the direction and where the wind is going and what is happening, people thought I was joking. Ruto won. Today, President Ruto are working together with Raila Odinga in a broad-based government. Why are you still arguing? So, and let me tell you, and this one I'm not, it's just looking at it carefully, analysis and so forth, and I keep pointing at this. I keep pointing here, isn't it? Deliberately I'm pointing at this because we have been selling ourselves short. We as a community have been selling ourselves short. We have not been applying our full intellect to matters of this nature. We have been selling ourselves short. We are all guilty in that context. Because we have not been taking the trends, the political trends in a nation seriously. We sometimes want to be too localized to the extent that you don't see the bigger picture. Let Malava show us the way by showing us what is good for Malava and what is the bigger picture. Do you know, I've been telling people it's usually very difficult on African soil to defeat a president who is looking for his second term. And I want to give you a chronology. Shall I give you a chronology? Are you ready to walk with me on this journey? All right? Because I wanted to dedicate this day because this is such a serious matter. Today is Tuesday, I'm supposed to be somewhere else doing other things. I said no. The people of Malava, their interest, their journey is even more important than those other things. That's why I'm here. If you go back, we now go back to the era of Moi. We move away from his first 14 years when it was single party. We now come to multipartism in 1992. When the original Ford, ile ya kina Matiba, Muliro, Jaramogi Odinga, Shikuku, Paul Mwite, name them. Well, when they gathered in Kamkunji, everybody said, Moi amekwisha, hakuna njia, dunia imeenda. And there were massive defections. People were running away to defect, thinking that that is where it will be easy. Moi then told them, mimi ni professor wa siasa, ngoja tu utaona. After a while, the original Ford was scattered into 4 pieces. 4. Moi walked back into office. Through the ballot, he won. By the time the opposition was saying, how did it happen? He had been voted in because people had cast the ballot. When it came to 1997, Moi calculated he had 1 more term under the new constitution at that time. Again, they thought it was whatever. Moi maneuvered, campaigned, Moi won. Kibaki came in 2002 because Moi was no longer on the ballot. And Kibaki won. This is so important to our people. Please listen to me. We then moved from there. We came to the one of 2007 because Kibaki won 2002 without any challenge. We came to 2007. Mimi na wakina Umbima hapa na wengine tukakuwa kwa ODM. When we had that ndizi na chungwa, tukazunguka. In 2005 when we won the referendum, tukafikiri tumeshinda. Huyu mzee Kibaki sijui alisema hiyo ilikuwa referendum, haikuwa general election. Kufika general election in 2007-2008, Kibaki akabadilika akakuwa PNU. Kibaki was a different person. Whether we debate or whatever, he got his term. He did his second term. We came to Uhuru. Uhuru won his first term after Kibaki. Then tukaingia 2017. Wakati ule watu wakasema, we Musalia, tumekasirika na wewe. Sasa fanya kazi na baba namna hiyo. Nikasema alright, lazima tufanye namna hiyo. Nikakubali, nikaunda NASA. Mimi ndio nilikuwa nikisema NASA Uhuru, NASA Ruto, NASA hawa, NASA hawa. Ama mmesahau? Si ndio mimi niliunda National Super Alliance. Nikazunguka Kenya nzima na NASA. Sasa sasa wakati wa kura, hiyo slogan yetu imepotea, tumenaswa. Mambo ikabadilika. And Uhuru got his. Wakasema, tuende tufanye nini, hata petition, kupika petition, kumaliza petition. Now kurudi kwa uwanja, engine imekoza mafuta, mambo imekuwa ngumu. Uhuru akapata his second term. So, to defeat an incumbent who's looking for his second term is something else. Mumurire. See, I said I'm talking to these people. You are armed. These ones. All right. So, I think I've spoken enough. And I am so proud that I was talking to my brothers and sisters. And I want to leave you with just one other message. Can you beam the second one? Beam the second one. Beam it. Are you beaming it? All right. What does that one say? The longer you stay on the wrong train, the more expensive it gets to get you home, isn't it? Vandova Malava, on which train are you? So, I want you to go home now reflecting on this one, isn't it? Just to think very carefully on which train are you. And you remember I told you about the story of passing the buck, delaying to make the right decisions, delaying to implement the right decisions is basically being on the wrong train. And it becomes expensive to get home. And what do we mean by home? We mean education for the people of Malava. We mean good roads for the people of Malava. We mean good agriculture for the people of Malava. We mean good opportunities for the people of Malava. And the story goes on and on and on. So don't delay to get on the right train. I speak to you, and I told you that we merged, ANC, UDA, we merged. I will not tell you who our candidate will be, but I want you to go home. Just reflect. I'm your brother. I want to continue working with you. I want to make sure that when President Ruto is seated and he leaves his glass of water on the stool next to the MP for Malava to go and answer a phone call, when he comes back, he should know that his water is safe and he can continue drinking from that glass. Have you heard me? Yes. Is that too much to ask? Have I insulted anybody? No. Have I abused the people of Malava? No. Have I imposed a leader on Malava? No. I've only requested. Mukuhendere mundu muyudiye. But the decision of who? Ni munyubene. Sigarigario? Murakukonya? Murangonya? Kuragenda hala? Nyasaha murindigo. Now, let me make some announcement because there was a message from the President to support infrastructure. And I'll request the Sub-County Director yes, come. We brought our
For the schools?
Yes.
Where is the school?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you. The schools which are benefiting from this infrastructure, we have Tanda Secondary School, which is our host, Your Excellency. We have Matsaga Secondary School, Chereso Comprehensive School, Chesero, thank you, Excellency.
Chevoso. It's Chevoso.
Chevoso. All right, thank you very much. Makofi basi. We have Ingavira. Comprehensive School. We have Muriola. Comprehensive School. We have Lungu Comprehensive School. Lunyu. We have Ndavisi Comprehensive School. Mavusi. Sharambasta. That one. Manyonje. And also on the request was Shamberere Polytechnic, a tuition block, which is also going to be taken care of. Thank you very much. The total amount, His Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary has been able to bring today for improvement of these schools is 20 million Kenya shillings. Thank you very much, Excellency.
Thank you. That is a message from President Ruto to our schools. And if I go further, I want to reemphasize something that Raymond Omolo said here. When Njendi Malulu, when he was there, he pushed and certain administrative units were gazetted. but then they were not operationalized the way Raymond has told us, the PS Interior. So, I want to read a letter to the Regional Commissioner signed by Raymond. And it is dated 4th August 2025. Subject: operationalization of administrative units. Authority is hereby granted to operationalize the following administrative units with immediate effect. Not tomorrow. Divisions: Shivanga, Kabras East. Chesero, Kabras East. Shilugumwigai, Kabras West. Locations: Ngubuli, Kabras East. Chevoso, Kabras West. Shikuse, Kabras West. Sublocations: Buhangunga, Kabras West. Indulusia, Kabras West. Muhuyu, Kabras East. Shivakale, Kabras East. You are asked to ensure that the revised scheme of service for the National Government Administrative Officers 2015 is adhered to in the operationalization of these administrative units. Signed, Raymond Ombolo, Principal Secretary, Internal Security. He is seated here. Hiyo ni serikali ama si serikali? Ni gava. Our good lady there, chair of the PWD wing of our teachers, she said it. Shall we deliver? Can we deliver? Yes. So, we are fulfilling a journey. Malulu started, worked with you, working with you. We are pushing these things. We are pushing them. We are pushing them. And we'll work on the roads. We'll work on the water project, the gravity water project. We are going to deal with that bridge that was washed during the heavy rains on Samitsi Road. We are going to finish these roads, I am telling you. And we are doing it not because there's an election. We are doing it because the people of Malava, like all other Kenyans, deserve their rightful share of development. So we must do it. Election or no election, we must build the roads. Election or no election, we must build hospitals. Election or no election, our schools must be built. Our hospitals must be equipped. Our cooperatives must grow. Election or no election, we have to get the right leadership. Mpira kwenu. Nyasaye amurinde.
Asante sana mkuu, ningeomba tu kwa ruhusa yako kusalie hapo tunapotimisha shughuli ya leo katika wimbo wa taifa ambao uko ndani na maombi. Wimbo wa taifa tukitimisha. Asante.
I just want to express appreciation on behalf of all these people, PS Pitok, PS Raymond, MP Freddy Kana, MP Beatrice Adagala, and all the leadership, and everybody who has been here for listening to us. Thank you so much for showing us so much respect and dignity. We shall also remember as we move ahead. The rest I give to the principal of Tande. He knows what to do and he knows what to say. I'm only a visitor.